Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to this Thankful Thursday, this Friday Eve, this evening of being able to look and see the weekend right on the horizon. And I speak peace and blessings to each and every one of you. And I thank you for tuning in and joining in on this message. And today's question is, are you still thankful? Do you still have a spirit of gratitude when God brings you to your knees? When God tells you, tells the enemy, when he says, I've been to and fro, searching whom I can devour. And the Lord says, have you considered my servant? Have you considered my child? Have you considered my son or daughter? Have you considered my servant? And then whatever your name may be. I think of the story of Job when the enemy goes to God and God asks the enemy, what are you doing? What have you been doing? He says, I've been searching to and fro, seeking whom I can devour. And the Lord says, have you considered my servant Job? And when God says, have you considered my servant? That means he's looked into your heart. He's looked into your mentality. He's looked into your emotions. And he sees that you are able to handle whatever the enemy is going to throw at you in the midst of all of this. But there is a caveat for the enemy, that he cannot kill you, that he cannot touch your spirit or your soul, that he cannot take that from you. He can inflict you with everything else, but he cannot inflict death on you. See, that's the one thing that I love, and I'm thankful for God. When he says to consider his servants or his children, he tells the enemy, you can go this far, but there's a boundary line that the enemy cannot cross. The enemy has to stop, because God has told him, you can only go so far. God has told him that you cannot take my child's life. And so in the midst of what you're going through, do you still glorify and gratify God and say thank you in the midst of whatever it is that you're facing? Job lost his family. Job lost all his wealth. Then he had friends that were telling him, you've done something wrong. And Job's like, I know I haven't. And then Job went to God and said, look, I'm facing all of this. What are you doing? And God, you be ready for God's answer when you go at him like that. But know that when God comes at you, he's trying to get you to remember and not have amnesia, and not forget what he has brought you through, what he has let you endure. And in the end, if we notice, when Job lost everything and he was sitting there and he was going through all these health issues, in the end, he got double what he lost. God blessed him 2 times over in the midst of his loss. When he came out on the end and when he restored his friends, God blessed him. So in the midst of what you're going through, still have a spirit of gratitude, still have a spirit of worship, still have a spirit of praise, and let God see how you endure. Because sometimes God says, consider my child, just to see how you're going to react and how you're going to act in the midst of it all. If you lose it every time there's a problem or a situation or a trial or an attack that comes, then God's like, okay, and God's going to keep sending the enemy to attack you till you get it. It's like the children of Israel when they wandered in the wilderness for 40 years for an 11-day journey, something that should have took them 11 days to get into the promised land. He had to take them through until they finally got it. Don't take a 40-year trip for an 11-day journey. Don't sit in your troubles or your anguish longer than you have to. Allow God to show you the purpose, the good in it. What the enemy means for evil, God will turn it around for our good. Look for the good in it. And then bless God with gratefulness and gratitude, and watch the blessings, miracles, signs, and wonders come forth. On this hashtag Thankful Thursday, hashtag hold on, I'm going to put Jesus on that. Keep a grateful and thankful heart. See you tomorrow.